Hey guys, welcome to Massive Iron Channel. I am Steve Shaw, editorial director at tigerfitness.com and Muscle and Brawn Nutrition CEO. Guys, it's Q&A Saturday. I apologize because by the time most of you guys are seeing this video, it's probably Sunday. I've had a few things going on in my personal life. Been on vacation this week, so I'm a little behind. So excuse me for getting this up late. Guys, I want to remind you, if your question made it into this Q&A video, if you'd like a free copy of my book, check out my email link below. Email me. No questions asked. I'll send you a copy of either Massive Iron, my base building book, or Massive 6, which is my 6-month beginner plan. So if you need questions helped or questions answered in general, you can hit up my Q&A link below. Post your questions. I answer every question posted. The best, I turn into a Q&A video just like this. So, first pizza, refeed today, pizza. First pizza in like a month, so it tasted good. I'm out here in the garage. It's like 2,078 degrees. I'm sweating like a pig. Got my new Galaxy tablet with your questions on it, and we're going to get into the questions. Before I get into the questions, a couple housekeeping things. My vegan gains video has gone absolutely crazy. A lot of views. Getting attacked by the vegan community because I said vegan in the video, and a lot of the people are using logic like, hey, big hairy ugly dude, you didn't pronounce it vegan, therefore you don't understand what veganism is. Nice try, bad logic, sorry, I'm not that idiotic. I also want to make a comment about my Wendler video. A few people didn't like it. Some people are pulling this stuff like, hey, who are you to criticize Jim Wendler? Who are you? Jim Wendler is this tough guy who knows everything. Who are you? Guys, I don't need to get into that. I am who I am. Make up your own mind. I don't need to dig into the trenches. I'm not trying to attack Jim Wendler. I'm just trying to tell you how to make Wendler's 531 a more efficient workout. So, hey, if you want me to get into it, I'll just be honest. I'm as strong as Jim Wendler, and I'm older. I think I deadlifted more than Jim. I squatted just about what he did raw, and I benched just about what he did raw, and I overhead pressed just about what he did raw. So if you want to get into that type of match, if you want to compare numbers, me and Jim were pretty equal, but I'm an old ass son of a gun. I have nothing against Jim. I'm just telling you in that video that you can find on my channel why I feel there are ways you can improve 531. So with all those shenanigans out of the way, let's get into some questions. First one is from Bdawg. He says, how much of a difference is there lifting competition plates versus standard plates? I know the weight is the same, but since the competition plates are thinner, they stack closer to the collar. He basically saying, with the competition plates or the type of plates you see at a meet, is there any difference? No, I mean, if there is, it's statistically insignificant. Most competitions are using a Texas deadlift bar, which allows you to bend the bar a little bit before you actually move the weight off the ground. So it's statistically insignificant. It's not anything that's going to make any difference. Maybe for 1 out of a billion where that micro leverage makes a difference between locking out something and not locking out something. But no, there's no difference between the colored plates and the iron plates when it comes to deadlifting at a competition. Next question is from Cameron. I don't even know if you guys can see this stuff here. Cameron says, do you have strength standards after finishing the Massive 6 program? So Cameron's saying, hey, big hairy ugly dude, after 6 months on the Massive 6, and the Massive 6 program is a 6-month program, are there strength levels I should be hitting? Look, after a year in training, I would like to see you at about 225 bench, 315 squat, and 375 plus deadlift. After a year. Not everyone's going to hit those levels. Those are just ballparks. After about 6 months, I really want to see you at 150, 155 bench, 4 reps, if not a little bit higher, maybe 175 squats. Anywhere between 245 to 225, 245, maybe even upwards of 255 for reps. So that's where I would like to see you. But look, if you're going to follow the Massive 6 program, it's going to help you build as much strength as possible. So these standards, if you don't get to these standards where you're benching more than 225, squatting more than 315 after a year on one of my programs, I would be shocked. These programs are designed to help you build as much muscle and as much strength as possible. So, hope that helped, Cameron. The next question is from Bdawg. It says, I just watched your video on Wendlers. I've been using Wendlers for a while and I've worked the program to my needs accordingly. I believe that is how the program was designed. He said, I felt it. I personally only take deloads I feel is necessary. I haven't deloaded in 4 cycles, etc., etc. He agrees with Jim's no bullshit, no excuses attitude, as do I, towards lifting. But as a fairly new power lifter, I don't know all the technical jargon. I just know if your eating's good, adding weight to the bar, good form, etc., you're making progress. Isn't that really what it's all about? Progressing. Yes, it's about progressing. My criticism of Wendlers, look, when I say boring but big isn't needed, when I say boring but big isn't a good idea for most of the people that are running it, obviously, Jim doesn't tell everybody to do boring but big in the Wendlers program. He does not do that, and I'm well aware of that. But I've been doing this a long time, and at least half of the people I see doing Wendlers are using boring but big as assistance work. They're deloading every 4th week, etc. While Jim might not say you have to do this to be successful, that is what most people are doing when they're running Wendlers. A lot of them are doing boring but big. They're deloading every 4th week, etc. So I'm just commenting, trying to help people who are doing that to let them know, hey, there's possible downsides. This will possibly slow your progress. It's possibly not the best way to do things. So yes, Wendlers will help you succeed, but not every program. If you give somebody a template, and Wendlers is just a template, and you say pick and choose how you're going to work this template, a lot of guys are going to screw it up. So I'm trying to help guys not waste time in the gym, not get injured, not do ridiculous stuff. That's why I made the Wendlers video. It will help anybody succeed, but most guys don't know how to structure their own programs. Most guys don't know how to set things up properly, so that's why I made the video on Wendlers. Next question is from BenC. Ooh, this is too bright to see. BenC says, I'm going to debate with a friend about your rep goal system. I've been told why it works. I've told him why it works, but he keeps saying that the rep goal system is demonstrating or testing strength, not building it. No, look, demonstrating or testing strength is trying to push for a new 1 rep max in some sort of competition, like a strongman competition where you're pushing balls to the walls and you're taking your body to the absolute limit. The rep goal system is basically trying to make every set count. You're not going reckless on each set. You're doing safe reps on the rep goal system. You're pushing each set for as many quality reps as possible, stopping a set when your form breaks down. In competition, you're not stopping a set when your form breaks down. You're pushing that squat max. Even if you shit out your spine during a deadlift or squat, you're pushing it to the limit. The rep goal system is teaching you an intuitive way to take sets for as many reps as possible. Now look, that is not necessarily demonstrating strength. That is trying to learn your limits, trying to progress. The alternative is to do something like linear progression. And in linear progression, you're going to run out of real estate quickly. You're going to try to add 5 pounds every week, and it's going to get difficult quickly. But guys are still pushing for those 5 rep sets on linear progression, even when their form is breaking down. So I would say that linear progression gets dangerous much more quickly because you're not focused on just making quality reps. You're focused on do or die, getting those 5 rep sets in. And once the weight starts to get heavy, that becomes more difficult. That becomes more dangerous. And that, in fact, is pushing that's pushing more into the danger zone than the rep goal system. Now, from a hypertrophy standpoint, the rep goal system, the deeper into a set you get, the more muscle fibers you are recruiting. Arnold knew this. Arnold used to preach this all the time. So if you are going to do sets and you're not going to take them to the limit, you're not recruiting a maximal amount of muscle fibers and you're not maximizing hypertrophy. And that's the bottom line. That's reality. That's science. That's the way it is. So if you don't want to use a rep goal system, that's fine. There's more than one way to cook an egg. That's my preferred way of progressing. I just believe that linear progression has limitations, and it can get people involved with pushing for those 5-pound weight jumps each week when at the expense of form. So hope that helped. Now, next question is from Samuel Cusick-Riley. Let me get some water before I dehydrate out here. Samuel says, hey, I watched a video you made about deadlift form and how it's better to start the lift with your upper back rounded as well as your lower back flat. And I teach tight lower back, not hyperextended, either way. Does this mean I should have my scapula spread throughout the lift or pinched together? You don't want to start with a pinched scapula. I made a video about this earlier on my channel. The scapula is the muscles that are involved with the scapula have an isometric function. That means they're meant to hold things together back here. If you pinch them together before you start the deadlift, while you deadlift, that isometric function, your shoulders are going to move forward. You're going to put your those muscles in your back, your lats, your scapula, they're going to be put in danger. You're going to increase the risk of injury because they're going to return to their original function, their original position when you're deadlifting. You do not start with a pinched scapula during deadlifting. If anybody tells you this, run far away from that advice. That's bad advice. You want to get as high as possible at the start of a deadlift, and that might involve some upper back rounding. That's okay. Your lower back stays flat, tight, etc. So I hope that helped. Next question is from Ulrich23. He says, Bearded Beast, I'm currently doing a push-pull legs 3-day routine from Massive Iron book. For some reason, after my pull days, I get really bad cramps on my arms both, specifically my outer arm right before where the forearm begins. Right here. I don't think you're getting a cramp. I think because it's on your pull day, you're experiencing elbow tendonitis, which occurs right in here. Now, I recommend when you're pulling that you use straps, that you use Versa grips, because when I use straps, even on rows, I don't grip. I let it kind of loose. I pull like this. And that helps relieve some of the issues, some of the tendency, some of the pressure on that grip, that when you got that iron grip and you're rowing and pulling and rowing and pulling, that, from what I've seen, tends to create or help create elbow tendonitis. So the fact that you're experiencing this on a pulling day tells me it's probably a form of elbow tendonitis. There's a good possibility. You need to get straps, preferably Versa grips, and when you're rowing or pulling, don't do the death grip, okay? If you want to train your grip, do forearm work, do grip work after your rowing and stuff is done. But you can lock it in like this with Versa grips where you're not doing the death grip, you're not putting a lot of pressure on that elbow, you're decreasing the likelihood that you're going to pick up elbow tendonitis. So you really should consider getting some Versa grips. All right, guys, next question is from Cameron. He says, is your Massive 6 program the equivalent of what Jason's Blaha's Ice Cream Fitness is, meaning you should aim for a 225 bench, 315 squat, and 4 or 5 deadlift after the first year? I know strength numbers can be arbitrary, but this is for someone who wants to hit them, etc., etc. So Cameron's asking if my Massive 6 program, if it will help people get to the same level. Every beginner program I've ever made is meant to get people around those same standards. Long before I knew who Jason Blaha was, we both created standards for lifters during their first years. My first year standards for lifters was always a 225 bench, about a 315 squat for reps, and 375 to 405 deadlift. Those were my standards. Jason just happened to share this opinion. And so we share the same opinion as far as strength standards. So any beginner program I create that's focused on progression should get you in that ballpark. Any quality beginner program from me, Jason, starting strength, Rippito starting strength, I meant strong lifts. Any program like that should get you in that range. If you're not in that ballpark, something is wrong, and it's probably not the program's fault. So, next question, 2 more questions left. Next question is from Ramen. He says, oops, tipped here sideways. Hello, Steve. I was wondering if you got a 5-day per week template or program that isn't a bro split. I want 2 days per week frequency at bench and squats. Cheers and thanks. So he wants to run 5 days a week. He wants to do frequency, but he wants to do squats and bench 2 times a week. Yeah, you can do it. What I would do if I was structuring a program like this is I would do like Monday squats, Tuesday bench, Wednesday deadlifts, so Monday squats, squat focused, and then your assistance work. Tuesday bench focused and your assistance work. Wednesday deadlift focused and assistance work. Take Thursday off. Friday come back and do squats, and Saturday come back and do bench and assistance. Now, on your chest days, on your bench days, you're going to do chest work, you're going to do bench work, you're going to do shoulder work, you're probably going to do maybe some tricep work, you're not going to do bicep work. On your deadlift day, I want you to do back work. I want you to do back work on that first deadlift day. So you got Monday squats, Tuesday bench, and then you do chest, shoulders, triceps, etc. Wednesday deadlifts and back and maybe biceps. Thursday off. Friday squats. Saturday you can do bench again, and you can do back on that bench day on Saturday as well. So you're going to do back work with your deadlift day on Wednesday and back work with your chest day on Saturday. So that's the basic structure I would run. You'd have to fill in your assistance exercises from there. And Ramen, if you want to send me a template that you designed based on that structure, I'd be happy to critique it. Last question is from Jamal Joudeh, Joudeh. He said, is there a squat style that is more synergistic with the deadlift carryover? I notice many top powerlifters use a wider stance regardless of whether the bar is high or low bar. However, I cannot really tell if they're geared or not. Look, here's the reality. The guys you are seeing using a wide stance squat on YouTube are generally geared lifters. 90% of them are. If you go to a powerlifting meet and you look at raw non-geared lifters, about 90% of those guys aren't squatting with a wide stance. So things can kind of get skewed when you're watching YouTube. We think all YouTube squatters, all heavies, that the wide stance is the holy grail for squat strength. But in the raw realm, most squatters are conventional stance. So I recommend that guys take time, 3-4 years, building a base with conventional stance squats, building up that quad strength, building up that squat power. And then if they want to tinker around slowly widening their stance to see if it's beneficial, then it's probably a good time to slowly, meticulously try widening their squat stance to see if it helps. But for your first 3 to 5 years, just focusing on conventional stance squats is going to be the best way of helping your deadlift. So guys, that's it for Q&A Saturday. I hope this video has been of some help. Again, if you have any questions or comments, there's a Q&A link below. Come on over, post your questions in that Q&A link. Holy crap, it's out here. I answer every question posted. The best questions I turn into a Q&A video just like this. And if I've answered your question in this video, hit my email, ask for a free copy of Massive 6, my beginner program, or Massive Iron. I'll send it to you, no questions asked. If you've made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. And if you want to connect with a big, hairy, ugly dude on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, all that good stuff, all those links are below. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Not bad. You know, some guys were asking, hey, big, hairy, ugly dude, you made a video saying you can only gain 30 to 35 pounds as a natural. That doesn't sound like a lot. I'm very depressed. That's how much muscle the big, hairy, ugly dude has. If you want to gain 30 to 35 pounds, I have about 35 pounds of muscle mass. That's pretty big. Have a great day.